Hi, everyone. We're just waiting on a few others to join. You can give it one more minute. Thanks for your patience.
I think you're too short.
Okay, I see Tiki lit up here. I see Josh's camera coming on. There he is. There, our special guest. Okay, let's get rolling here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thuzio with Mr. Josh Capon. Let's clap it up. We clap it up at live events. Please clap it up at home. My name is Jared Augustine. I'm the CEO at Thuzio. Great to be speaking with you all tonight. This is our first ever virtual member event. And while, to our members, we haven't been all together in a while, certainly prefer in person, but hey, we'll take it.
Definitely not the last.
What's that?
I said definitely not the last virtual event.
Definitely not the last. That's right. That's right. And I think, to guests of members who've never been to a Thuzio event before, we welcome you in. What we do is we build experiences with really amazing celebrity athletes, entertainers, culinary stars, personalities. We build these experiences for our members so you can meet these folks, get a chance to hear their story and learn from them. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about how this is all going to go down tonight, which is a first for our team as well. Okay, so bear with us. Josh is going to provide a 45-minute cooking demonstration. And we're going to do, at the end, he's going to do about 15 minutes of Q&A, audience Q&A as well. Now, along the way, you can ask questions. You can go to, there's a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. You can actually type in your question, and I'm going to be able to see these on my screen. I'm going to kind of moderate along here, and I'm going to see these questions. And when we have breaks and opportunities, we'll call you out, give you a chance to pop on and with your audio and ask your question directly to Josh. So be ready for that. So fire away with questions along the way, and we'll find opportunities for you to ask them. Look, let's have some fun with this. I'm broadcasting from Fairhaven, New Jersey, where I live with my family. As I was explaining to Josh and Tiki moments ago, I've got 3 kids, 6, 4, and 2. They are definitely going to interrupt this at some point tonight. They're out getting ice cream with their mom right now. Thank goodness for all of us. But I think that's kind of in the spirit of this, right? There's going to be some...
We're keeping it real.
Yeah, we're keeping it real. There's going to be some stuff that goes wrong, whatever. Some audio issues, some people who don't get their credit. It's all good. It's been a long couple months. It's been a long couple days. I think acutely so for the great gentleman on the panel here, and I'm sure for many of our members. So let's try to enjoy ourselves and give ourselves a break tonight and have some fun with this. To provide a proper introduction to Josh, I want to hand it over to our esteemed co-founder, the great Tiki Barber. Tiki, you can take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Jared. I appreciate
Baba.
Baba with the carry. Josh, and it's great to see you again and all of our members who are out there, and even guests of members who are also joining us and deciding to cook. Thank you for joining us in these odd times at home, but I guess we can learn something from the great Josh Capon. Now, most of you know Josh. He's got a couple of restaurants in New York that you're aware of, I'm sure, Lure and Burger and Barrel Wine Pub, the Bowery Meat Company. He's worked with Charlie Palmer and David Burke as well, studied all over the world. He's a Food Network star and just one of the great people in the culinary industry. He's been a longtime friend of Thuzio, so we appreciate you doing this for us, Josh. So welcome, Josh, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the kind words, Tiki. That means a lot. I appreciate it.
Josh, one of the things that I've learned being stuck inside for 76 days, I go out and run every now and then, but for the most part, I've been stuck inside, is that my wife is actually a really good cook. How important has it been for people to learn how to cook since they've been stuck at home? And I guess you, obviously, being the chef on the call and one of the great ones in the world, cooking at home is a lost art.
It is. I got to call Tio. All right, first, we got to call Tio because I just saw Jared take a swig of wine. Okay, so I think everybody now needs to pour themselves some kind of drink.
Oh, look at you.
Somewhere.
Look at you.
If you're cooking, you should be drinking a little bit. And especially times like this, call for a drink. So everybody pour yourself a drink, whether it's alcoholic or not, I don't care. But let's just all raise a glass to each other, to Thuzio, to Tiki, to Jared, and to getting this past us. The whole COVID thing and now everything else this country's going through. Let's just keep our heads up and chins high and keep smiling and keep pounding, because that's what we do.
Thank you, Josh. Cheers.
There you go. You go right out of the bottle, baby. All right, cheers.
It's almost empty anyway, so.
Not sponsors, by the way. Just pro bono here.
Exactly.
Listen,
that's why I showed the back end.
For me, the silver lining in all of this has really been being able to cook with my family and at home with my family every night, and watching everybody else in the world just kind of cook, because what else can you do? But Tiki, I hope if your wife's cooking every night, she's cooking good food.
She's been amazing. She's been utterly amazing. And again,
this is my question. Who's doing the dishes?
Oh, of course I have to do every dish. And you know what sucks is right now, our dishwasher is broken, so it's all by hand.
Oh man,
dish pan hands going on right now. But it's been amazing. So Josh, tell us what we're going to experience tonight. What are you cooking for us? What do we need to be prepared? How do we do this?
Regardless of Corona, and even before Zoom, this was something I was kind of working on. I thought there would be a cool way to do an interactive cooking class, because everybody loved watching the Food Network. But this, to me, I want you guys to be in my kitchen. I want you to ask questions as we go, because I think this is something that was coming anyway. Obviously, it got forced upon us. But cooking classes are one thing, and we've done some great events at the restaurant. I'm always impressed by the quality of the Thuzio guests, because they really want to learn. They ask questions. They're there not just to see, but to learn. So questions along the way. Hit Jared up. We'll have some fun. But this could be something in the future. When you are cooking, you work backwards. Okay, so whatever takes the longest, you start first with. So we're gonna do a sheet pan snapper. I hope everybody has a sheet pan available. Why are we doing a sheet pan snapper? Because I'm sick and tired of cleaning all the pots and pans like Tiki is. So we're gonna cook a one-pot meal pretty much on a sheet pan to make it easy. But we're also gonna serve that with some olive oil crushed potatoes. Okay, so whatever potatoes you guys have, if they're fingerlings, I'm using some Yukon Gold. We're just gonna dice those up a little bit. We're going to throw them in a pot with some cold water, and we're going to get those going, because those are going to take about 15 minutes to cook. Tiki, you with me?
I'm here cutting up my potatoes.
All right, so whatever potatoes you guys got, I hope you guys are cooking along with us. We send out the recipe. If you're not and you're just sitting there having a glass of wine and being entertained, that's okay too, Jared. Jared doesn't know this, but as soon as I finish my dinner, I have somebody delivering it to his house. That was a special surprise tonight.
Hey, Josh, how thick should the cuts be? Does it matter?
So I'm doing a nice little dice. I got my overhead cam over here, too. I mean, just a small dice. You know, the smaller that you cut them, the quicker they're going to cook. What kind of potatoes are you using?
I don't know, whatever Tracy bought.
Fine, so just dice them up like a nice little rough chop.
Yeah, they're about the same ones that you have. They're about that same size.
That's fine. So you see what I got here?
Yeah.
Like that. And whenever you're cooking a vegetable that starts in the ground, you start off in cold water, right? You bring it up to a boil. If you're cooking broccoli or green vegetables, you start those off in boiling salted water, and you do what we call this blanching them. All right, so I got my potatoes diced. I'm going to cover them with cold water. And then we're going to add some salt to that and get those on the fire. You with me, Tiki Barber?
I'm with you.
All right, cover them in cold water. And when you are seasoning these bad boys, all right, don't be afraid to season them. Season your water. Nice kosher salt. That way they season the potatoes. Put those right on the fire, and now we can forget about them. Another trick I want to show you guys, and I apologize because I didn't get you guys the recipe ahead of time, but I love entertaining at home. I think entertaining at home is the way to go. I am a restaurateur. I have a lot of restaurants, but to me, if I had to be honest, entertaining at home and inviting people to your house is the best way to enjoy each other's company. It is a lot cheaper. It is a lot quieter. And it's a lot more relaxed, and you don't get thrown out of the restaurant after 2 hours sometimes on a busy Saturday night, if you know what I mean. So one thing I'm going to show you how to do really quickly, if you guys are watching. Jared, you still there? We lost you.
I'm on, Josh.
All right, just don't see your video. Anyway, take a hummus. I can give you a recipe for hummus, or you can buy your own hummus. I like Sabra hummus, but take any hummus, store-bought hummus, and instead of just putting it in a bowl and serving it, watch what I'm going to do. I'm just going to create this little well here. I think you guys can see that. Okay? And then I'm going to I have some chopped olives. I have some chopped olives and some tomatoes. I'm going to hit it with a good amount of olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is always the way to go. I'm going to put a squeeze of lemon in there and some fresh herbs. If you had oregano or if you had chives, whatever you got works. I got some chives right here that I'm just going to chop up. I'm going to mix those in. I'm going to do a little black pepper. Just a touch of salt, but you don't need it because those olives are pretty salty.
Olives, Josh,
I'm going to mix that.
Olives, Josh.
Yep.
Olives, tomatoes, oregano.
Yep. Olive oil.
Olive oil. Pepper.
Yep. Any kind of herbs, a little pepper, whatever you got. I'm going to put a little squeeze of the lemon in there too, just because the lemon's staring me in my face. And acid, right? We love cooking with acid. A lot of flavor, not a lot of fat. All right, you got your hummus in the bowl, Tiki?
I do.
You made a nice little well. You make it like that, a little well. There you go. So now I'm just going to spoon those olives and tomatoes. Right.
I already put them in.
Put them in the well so you can see all that hummus coming around the outside. We're going to take a little extra olive oil and a little drizzle right over the top, a little cracked pepper, and then it just so happens, I got some pita bread in the oven that I warmed up. Right here. I'm going to take that warm pita bread. And if you want to get a little crazy, you could take like a little olive oil with some crushed garlic and some herbs and some rosemary, and you could paint that pita bread with it to give it a little extra flavor and make it your own. And when your guests come over, you have some warm grilled pita bread with some hummus and some olives and tomatoes. And I think that's a very nice welcoming dish. What do you think?
It tastes delicious.
Looks great.
Right there?
Mine doesn't look anything like yours, but it tastes delicious.
Let me see it. Let me see it. It's good. Come on.
Josh, did you say that's like a store-bought brand? You said?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can give you the easiest recipe in the world for hummus. It's canned chickpeas and lemon and tahini and olive oil and garlic. Or if you just buy a thing of Sabra hummus or any kind of hummus in the store,
okay.
Just by taking the olives and tomatoes and doctoring it up, as you will, I think it puts your own little signature on it and makes it really nice.
Very
I
good.
always say it's nice if you invite somebody over for dinner or for a drink, you should always have a little something to eat, right? So maybe it's a homemade guacamole, maybe some fresh whipped ricotta cheese, or in this case, some hummus. There you go, buddy. See?
That's great.
A little nibble. My dad always said have a little nibble when people come over. That's what we're doing. All right. Moving on. And Jared, if anybody has any questions at any time that you think are worthy, then you just interrupt me and we'll stop, okay?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
So, Tiki, you got your sheet pan ready, right?
I do.
All right, so we're going to start with the zucchini. You got your zucchini?
I do.
So I'm going to use a Japanese mandolin to slice it thin. If you don't, do you have a mandolin or no?
No, but my wife already sliced them.
All right, so even better. You're way ahead of me. Just slice them nice and thin. Yeah, but take a picture of that first. All right, I'm going to slice it nice and thin on my mandolin. Okay, if you don't have a mandolin, just slice them nice and thin like that. Almost like you're making zucchini chips, because we're going to marinate them and we want them to cook really quick.
Josh, can you show the mandolin? Got it. Okay.
One thing about these suckers, if you're using them, make sure you do not slice your fingers. When you get close to the bottom, Don't try and go all the way, okay? Yeah. It's not worth it, because if you get the tip of your finger on this thing, you're going to regret it.
Just dip it in the hummus and eat it.
There you go. You see? Who needs pita bread when you got zucchini? So we have our sliced zucchini, right?
Yeah.
Very important when you guys are cooking, season every component of the dish. You don't season things at the end. Every component of the dish gets seasoned. So we got a little olive oil, and we got some salt and pepper. And by the way, this is called a pepper mill. This is a Thuzio pepper mill. If any of you guys are using ground pepper out of a plastic container that you bought 3 years ago, you're going to be asked to leave this Zoom call immediately. Because you're quality people. Buy yourself a pepper mill. Use good fresh black pepper. Tiki, I assume you got a pepper mill in that house?
I unfortunately do not.
Wow, and you told me your wife could cook?
Yeah, we just started, man. I mean.
All right. Jared, I'm going to need Tiki's home address because I'm going to have to send him a pepper mill tomorrow.
Done.
I am taking a little olive oil and I'm just drizzling it on my sheet pan, okay? We're kind of just going to coat our sheet pan with olive oil. And then I just took all that zucchini and I threw it right on the sheet pan. Can you guys see that?
Looks great. Also, Josh, some folks are saying here that they have a Thuzio pepper mill as well. So apparently this is popular amongst our group.
I think the Thuzio is the Ferrari of pepper mills.
Really?
I shouldn't say the Ferrari because it's just a workhorse and it will never let you down. And you know, if you're gonna buy a pepper mill, spend a couple dollars on a good one so it lasts forever. All right, our zucchini is down. Tiki, you with me?
I am. I had to turn my oven on.
Oh, that's good, right? Make sure if you are cooking at home, your potatoes are on high and your broiler should be on high in your oven. Okay?
Hey, Josh, I got a question. Preferred brand of olive oil. This is from Alan McGowan.
So I get that question 17 and a half times a day. More importantly than what brand is always go with extra virgin. You see the color of that? Okay, you're always looking for a high quality extra virgin. All right, I worked in Italy for a year and a half. I ate my face off and I actually lost weight because olive oil is one of those good fats. All right, even Bertolli or any of them, just buy a really good quality extra virgin olive oil. Cook with it, salad dressings, all that kind of stuff, and I think you're fine.
Okay. You said broil, not bake, right?
Broil, yes. So broil means heat from above, right? Oh, Tiki's going back. It's almost like the difference between a run and a pass, Tiki, but not that big a difference. Broil, heat from above.
Very good. Very good.
So now we're going to get everything ready to put on top of our fish. So if you're with me, I got a half a red onion over here. Okay? I'm just going to julienne it. When you guys are cutting, you see how I'm folding in my fingers? You always want to fold in your fingers and use your nails as like a natural barrier, okay? Because again, you don't want to cut your fingertips. If you do, just like the mandolin, you shall regret it.
Hey, Josh, do you have a preferred brand of knife?
Another question I get very often. You know, I think you want to decide between German blades or Japanese blades or what you like. This is a Musto, this is a Henkel. I think if you buy any of those butcher block sets at Williams-Sonoma or Crate & Barrel, get yourself a good butcher block set with a couple different, you know, sizes and shapes, and I think you're good to go, and they all pretty much hold a good edge. But there is a company called Made In that just started doing some really good knives and some pots and pans.
Made In?
Yeah, will you put in the garlic, please? Huh. You with me? You got the red onion, Tiki?
I do.
All right. You should have some sliced red onion in a bowl. Okay?
Do I need to worry about the potatoes?
No, they should be boiling away. They're boiling?
Yep.
No, they're not cooked yet.
Okay.
I got some cherry tomatoes. And by the way, I want to point something out very important. This is a recipe. A recipe is just an idea. Okay? Take it and run with it, especially these days in the 8 days of Corona. Whatever you got is fine. Okay? I've been doing the sheet pan snapper. I've been doing sheet pan salmon. I've been using sun-dried tomatoes. I've been using canned artichoke hearts, different vegetables, asparagus. Whatever you guys got, just be creative with it. So I happen to have some cherry tomatoes that I'm going to use. If you don't have cherry tomatoes, you can use big tomatoes and just dice them up. Okay, but I'm going to use these cherry ones. And we're just going to slice them in half. Watch your fingers. Nice little slice, just about a handful or so. These happen to be some nice different colors, which will look good on the plate. But again, big tomatoes. I wouldn't use canned tomatoes for this, but sun-dried tomatoes would work really well too. If you guys like sun-dried tomatoes, which I happen to really, really like, just make sure you buy them in the oil. When they're marinated in the oil, they're much better than when you buy them dry. Because when you buy them dry, you have to rehydrate them. And it takes a while, and they taste like leather in a way. So, I got some tomatoes, yes? Tiki, you with me?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right. So there we have our tomatoes and red onions. And now we got some olives. I happen to love olives. This dish is a little Greek. I got Cherignola olives, which are the green ones. And I got some Kalamata olives, okay? You can slice them in half if you want to. You can leave them whole. You can do whatever you want. It's your dish, all right? Put your personal touch on it. I'm going to throw them in whole, just because they're not very big, and leave them just like that, okay? I got some garlic. By the way, nothing wrong with buying peeled garlic. Well, you should buy fresh garlic cloves, but I go through a lot of garlic. The peeled stuff is fine. I don't want you buying any chopped minced garlic. If you're buying chopped minced garlic, you're going to be thrown off the call. Okay?
Why?
Because that stuff is just chopped probably a year and a half ago. It's sitting in some kind of oil. They probably use some kind of chemical. How difficult is it to chop up a couple cloves of garlic? Not that difficult. Truth is, you should buy fresh garlic in the cloves and do it yourself, but you can cheat a little bit. But that minced stuff, I don't like. I don't know when that stuff was chopped. It never even tastes like garlic anymore. So I took about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, and I just sliced it nice and thin. You can see that. But, everybody always asks me amount. So I'm like, I don't know. How much do you want, So I got some garlic in there. I'm going to take some fresh thyme. Okay, everybody knows fresh thyme? Any kind of herbs. I think in the recipe I might have said oregano. Maybe I said rosemary. I don't really care. Whatever kind of herbs you have, if you have an herb garden in the back, that works great as well. But I will tell you, one of the reasons why I like to use fresh thyme, and you guys feel free to use this joke anytime you want. So this is a bottle of white wine, okay? You ready? Anybody know where I'm going with this?
No.
You can use this at your next dinner party. You ready? If I could save time in a bottle. Not bad, no? How about this one? We got one more. You ready?
I actually haven't heard that one. That's a good one.
You know where I'm going with this one?
No.
Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Come on, Rolling Stones, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Those are like your dad's bad jokes that you laugh now at me, but later on you're going to wind up using them, and you're going to be like, I can't believe I just used that stupid joke.
Josh, is your daughter laughing at your bad dad jokes right now?
I don't think she's laughing with me. I definitely think she's laughing at me. She said I'm so weird. Oh my God. So take some fresh thyme and I put it in there, okay? All right. So what do we got? Recap. Olives, tomatoes, red onion, salt and pepper, right? We season everything with salt and pepper. And then we're going to hit it with some olive oil. Once again, the juice of the God, the golden olive oil. Don't be afraid. You almost can't use too much. But I would say about, 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're going to put in some lemons. When I cut my lemon, I like to cut down the side, not this way. I don't go that way. You get all the seeds. If you go this way, and you can almost see that, you get almost no seeds. And watch the amount of juice that comes out of this bad boy. You ready? What's that?
Huh.
Wow.
Like a faucet.
Interesting.
Like a faucet, I tell you. Okay, you get a ton of juice that way and no seeds. We're going to put the juice of 1 lemon in there.
Great. Josh, you got time for a question?
I sure do.
So,
did you say, do I have time for a question? Was that overkill? That might have been overkill.
by the way, surprisingly, the dad jokes are getting a lot of accolades on the message board right now.
Nice.
You can make fun of me all you want, but they're going to use them. I know they are.
That's because
Surprisingly.
our kids are getting older, and we got to try to keep entertaining them. Other than,
So here-
I love you.
So here's a question. You have one of the best burger spots in America. Where do you like, it can't be your restaurant. Where have you gone that you really enjoy the burger? And it could be anywhere.
Well, first of all, I appreciate whoever said that, and that does mean a lot to me. Burger and Barrel and the Bash Burger is my claim to fame, so I do appreciate that. I'll be honest with you, any Shake Shack is always a solid burger. If you're on the West Coast, In-N-Out does a great burger. Although I hate their fries, I think their fries suck. But in the city, my boy PJ at the Spaniard does a great burger.
The
JG Mellon.
Spaniard.
JG Mellon does a great burger. PJ Clark's. You know, there's a lot of good burgers out there.
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to take a little splash of white wine in here as well. Okay?
Good thing I just got a bottle of it.
See that? And by the way, any kind of wine you got is fine. Don't worry about it. Any good cook, it doesn't even have to be cooking wine, white wine, anything you got.
No, that definitely wasn't cooking wine because
I don't believe in cooking wine, by the way. When I was a line cook and I worked in my first kitchen, we used to have wine in the box, right? Cheap box wine.
Yeah.
And as a young line cook, everybody thought it was cool to drink this wine during service. You go from getting a good little buzz to having the worst headache you've ever had in your entire life so quickly, you'll never buy that crap again. All right, so we got our marinated vegetables, right, Tiki? You still with me?
Yep, I got them.
Yeah,
Right.
catch everybody up.
Okay, catch everybody up. You have your
Wait. Sorry, Josh. One person asking, what if I don't have wine?
What if you don't have wine?
What can be substituted?
Lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil. You don't really need it. You can put a little bit of water, but you don't even need it because it will steam it. But I wouldn't worry about it. Oh, my wife. Thank you to my wife, Lori, by the way. Come over here. Say hello, everybody. Come on. This is my amazing, beautiful wife, aka assistant.
Hi.
She just had a very good answer. Tell
Hi,
me.
Lori.
Olive juice.
Olive juice.
Olive juice.
Any juice that you left over from the olives, or we did this the other day at home with artichoke hearts. The artichoke hearts that come in that liquid, it's a great flavor. Just always try and avoid using water.
So someone asked specifically, Mike asked, what about white wine vinegar?
That might be, no. Mike, no. Too strong.
No, Mike. No,
Too
Mike.
strong. I mean, a splash is okay, but white wine vinegar is not white wine. The whole dish with the lemon juice will be very acidic. But the olive juice is great. The artichoke heart liquid would be good. Some sun-dried tomato oil. As chefs, we always say, trying to avoid water. You always want to use a flavored water.
Josh, ask your wife to come back real quick. I got a question for her.
You want to?
Cliche question. Your husband's a chef. Do you ever get to cook?
I do because he's not home very often. Now he is, which is amazing. But usually when he's at work, he works too much. So
Do you ever cook for him?
Yes.
Yeah.
She happens to be an amazing cook. She cooks on the healthier side. So sometimes it's delicious, but it's always, she doesn't like a lot of salt. She doesn't like that kind of stuff, but she does an incredible job, especially with the kids 5 nights a week.
Hello.
Can you come here and say hello? This is my daughter.
Amanda popping her head in.
This is the second half of Cooking with the Capons. If you've been following us on Instagram, we've been cooking and having a good time. I've said very often the whole silver lining has been spending so much time at home cooking with my family, and this one is learning a lot and having a lot of fun too, and it's pretty incredible to watch her grow.
That's
Hey,
great.
Josh, tell us that Instagram handle again.
My Instagram handle is @ChefCapon.
Yep.
We've just been doing we've been doing some Cooking with the Capon series on there. We're trying to cook at home and share some really easy recipes with everybody that are easy and delicious and fun.
Nice. @Chef Capon.
@Chef Capon. I expect 1,000 new followers after tonight.
Well,
Hey,
I'm going to
Tiki.
follow you right now.
Tiki, you got time for a quick football question? Josh,
Go
you
ahead.
don't mind, right? We could talk a little football.
Toss it.
We do have Tiki Barber on the line. That'd be crazy not to. Tiki Barber.
On the
Agreed.
carrier.
So this is from Joseph Kim, Tiki. Hardest hit you ever took?
Ray
Was from
Lewis.
who?
Not even a question. Ray Lewis in Super Bowl 35, 2000. Actually, it was 2001 down in Tampa. He drilled me early in the game as we were running a stretch play to my left, and I cut up, and he hit me in my ear hole, and I stayed conscious, but just barely. And that was the beginning of the end for that game. They destroyed us.
That's when you start to question the rest of your career. And your
Yeah,
life.
exactly. Exactly.
I always thought Ray Lewis was a little bit soft and a little bit of a bitch.
What? You thought that?
I'm just kidding. Don't tell me.
Dude.
Ray's
I
one of
didn't
the
think
baddest-
that, Ray.
Listen, everybody knows Ray's one of the baddest men that ever wore a uniform. So I feel your pain just telling that story.
When I was a rookie, I did make him leave his jock on like the 35-yard line, but he got me back multiple times.
Sure.
Hey, Josh, we got another question for you. What's another type of fish that would work with this same recipe so we can all mix it up?
Ah, good
Very
question.
Very good question. I'm calling the sheep pan snapper. You could do this with salmon fillets. You could do this with black sea bass. You could do it with cod. You could do it with pretty much any fish you want. Flounder, tilapia, mahi, anything you want. I like the skin on it because it's going to crisp up a little bit. Halibut would work. There's no fish that wouldn't work. Branzino, I'm getting all the peanut gas. Tuna is probably the only dish I would.
Thank you, Alina. That's a great question.
Good question. All right. So these are my salmon fillets. Okay. Snapper. Everybody's got I got the zucchini on there. We got some pretty big salmon snapper fillets. We can cook them whole, or we can portion them. Whatever up to you. One thing I will tell you, it should always be nice and clean and fresh, not slimy. I've had these wrapped in a couple paper towel just to absorb some of the extra moisture. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to gently score the skin. Okay? Just by doing that with my knife.
By score, you mean just cut little thin?
Exactly. Exactly. Not too deep, but it will prevent the skin from kind of curling up on you. See that?
I see.
See what I did?
Yeah.
Okay. Or, by the way, we could also cut these into portions if we wanted to. So if we were serving 4 people, I would get 2 fillets out of each of these. Okay. And I would also score the skin. I'll show you how to do it both ways. If we're in a restaurant, sometimes I like a fish for 2. But then you got 2 portions. Get rid of the little trimmings.
Hey, quick question from Craig. If there's no skin, do you need to score?
No.
No.
Good
Okay.
question. No. All right, ready? Now what are we going to do? We're going to always drizzle a little olive oil on the top of our fish. We're going to season our protein with kosher salt and black pepper. On both sides, very important, both sides. Some people prefer white pepper on fish. They say it's a little more delicate. I am fine with either. I happen to like black pepper. I don't mind it being too strong. Make sure you oil it, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to try to get that skin nice and crispy. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put my 2 fillets there. Okay? You with me, Tiki?
I am.
Okay. So now, I'm going to take all those vegetables that I mixed up with your white wine and your lemon juice. Okay? And I'm going to pour it right over the top of the fish. Scatter it. We're just going to scatter. Wherever it falls, it falls. Some falls on the fish. Some falls off the fish. Get everything out of that bowl. Looks beautiful. You got some nice colors in there. Okay? Some of the fish should be exposed. Some of it shouldn't be. And of course, right before it goes in the oven, a little more olive oil, because why the hell not? It's all the good stuff. And I'm going to do a little splash of white wine because it looks like it needs just a little bit more moisture, because this is going to broil and steam at the same time.
Why'd you say that, Josh? Why do you feel like it looked like it needed a bit more moisture?
My steam pan was a little dry, and I want this to steam a little bit as we cook it. Okay? And then last, I'm going to take the lemon, and this one I actually cut in half. Why? Because I'm going to place it on the sheet pan, and I'm going to broil those lemons with the fish. So when they come out, I'm going to squeeze it over the top, and it'll be caramelized like off the grill.
Hey, skin is up or down right now?
Skin is up.
Skin is up, everybody. Yep, skin is up.
All right, Tiki, you ready to go?
I am.
All right, your broiler's on. Roll it under the broiler. Now your potatoes are done. Where's it coming?
That's actually kind of fun.
That's kind of what?
I said that was fun.
And you know what the best part is? It's easy. It's easy.
Yes.
Oh, where should the rack in the oven be?
So about 3 off the top, not too close to the top. I have it 3 off.
3 off the top.
3 off the top.
Michelle. Yep.
On the third. Yeah, I'm on the third level. Now I took my potatoes. Now cooking is all about timing, right? Same thing like running a play in the NFL. It's all about timing. Tiki knows where he needs to be to catch that halfback toss, right, Tiki?
Oh, hey, people are asking about temperature. Broiled on high?
I have my broiler on high.
Broiler's on high, Craig. Yep.
Broiler's on high. Tiki, I was saying cooking is all about timing, right?
Yep.
It's like running a play. When you run a halfback toss, you know where you need to be when that toss is coming. So just like cooking, we got those potatoes now. While my fish is cooking, my potatoes are perfectly cooked. I just strain them in a colander, right? Are your potatoes off?
Hold on.
Hey, Josh, question. What wine would you recommend?
Any white, Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, anything easy.
Any white. Oh, question. Looks like somebody missed the zucchini. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I read that right.
What am I doing with this? Mashing them?
Right now?
Are we mashing?
So we're mashing, yeah, whatever you got. I got a whisk. I'm using a whisk. I strained it. I put it right back in the pot. Yeah? Right back in the pot. These are like, we like to call these olive oil crushed potatoes. Not mashed, not whipped, not baby food. We're just going to crush them. We're going to season them with a really good olive oil. If you want to add butter, that's up to you. I have no problem with a little bit of butter. I think it's a little bit healthy without the butter, but butter obviously adds a little bit of creaminess and a little richness. But I'm going to hit it with some salt and some pepper. Don't go crazy on the salt because you can always add more. Once you got it mashed up pretty good, I'm gonna switch to a big spoon.
Hey, Josh, just give everybody the headlines. Where's everything right now? The different parts of the dish.
Okay. The snapper's in the oven under the broiler.
Okay.
The potatoes are in the bowl, in the pot that they were cooking in after they were strained. Right? We only got two things. The best thing about this thing is you only got two things working. Right?
Okay.
The skins are on the potato, which I kind of like.
Oh, and the hummus is just hanging out. Maybe that's what this last question was about. Yeah, the hummus is just hanging out.
Kind of like a little extra starter. The hummus is not for the dish.
Yeah.
It was just kind of something to kind of, greet you guys.
You should have eaten all your hummus already. Because I did.
Do check your fish. If it's broiling too fast, if it's browning too fast, you can go to a medium broil if you want. But you do want that skin to get a little crispy while everything's cooking in there. My potatoes are coming together. You can see that? You should have about a quarter cup of olive oil in there. Again, if you want to add butter, that's totally up to you and it's totally fine. I got no problem with that. A little more olive oil. I'm going to add a little more salt. And then I'm going to add some chopped parsley. We have any parsley? Any kind of parsley, any kind of herbs. I happen to have some more chives that I'm going to put. I like to add something a little green, just to give it a little bit extra flavor, a little bit extra color.
By the way, a couple people were asking if we were going to circulate a video after this, and we will be doing that.
Sure as hell hope so.
Just letting you all know.
Time to go to the highlights. All right, so my potatoes are done. And this, by the way, let's say you were having company. This is something that can be done ahead of time. You keep it on the stove, you keep it hot, it's ready to go. Throw some plastic wrap over it, and you're good to go. Now you know what's really important to do while you're cooking? You clean up as you go, everybody. That is the most important thing. Because especially when you have company over, the worst thing you can do is have your kitchen an absolute mess. And everybody's sitting there after a big fat dinner with a glass of wine, they feel full, and everybody's looking over at the kitchen and it's like destroyed. And they start feeling bad about who's going to have to clean the thing.
That would be me, Josh.
Yes. Another good thing about this dish is a really easy cleanup. It's all in the sheet pan. So just to catch everybody up, we were nibbling on that hummus with the flatbread and the olives. I have my pot of potatoes behind me. I have my sheet pan snapper in the oven. That's going to take another minute or so. And then we're going to be good to go. Honey,
awesome.
Give me the white bladder, please.
Hey, Josh, while we're waiting for the dish to come out,
Yep.
just a couple questions on where this started for you. You know, the passion for cooking. Was it a specific job you had that got you into this, or kind of where to come from?
The story, well, there's two stories. The first story dates back to when I was in elementary school, and I used to complain about my mom's school lunches one too many times. I told my mom my school lunch sucked a couple times. She pretty much said, hey, you know what? Make your own lunch. So I started cooking for myself at a young age. I worked in a bakery. I worked as a busboy. I worked as a dishwasher all throughout junior high school and high school. So I've always been in the food service establishment, kind of a small bowl that way. And then when I went to University of Maryland, I was there for a couple of years. And the truth was, I really didn't find anything that interested me. I was trying to find my true calling, which we all should do. I was studying agronomy, which was a study of the soil and the conservation of the environment. And my mom and dad called me one day, like, yeah, okay, you're out of there. Like, we're not paying, a lot of money for you to study soil. So I made a mature decision. They took me on a tour of Johnson & Wales University. I made a mature decision at a young age to kind of follow my true calling and get involved in culinary. And I actually excelled, which was kind of nice because I was floundering, to say the least, at University of Maryland. I was having a really good time. I was partying a little too much. And, college is expensive, so you're there for a reason. And my parents were smart enough to say, you know what? Come take a look at the school and let's get on with the rest of your life. And that's what we did.
How did they find Johnson & Wales? I'd never heard of it until you.
Johnson & Wales at the time, there were 2 culinary schools. Check your snapper. You check your snapper, it should just slightly be browning. Johnson & Wales and the CIA were the 2 culinary schools at the time.
Right.
There weren't that many options at the time.
It still is, though, right? Isn't Johnson & Wales kind of like the...
Yeah, great school. Great school, and they have a bunch of different campuses. How's your fish look, Tiki?
Good. It's getting there. Just browning a little bit.
Okay.
Just like,
most importantly, guys,
I turned it down. I turned mine down to medium.
I like it. Most importantly, and everything else should be sizzling on that pan. When you guys are cooking proteins, I don't care if it's fish, I don't care if it's meat, shrimp, anything, chicken breast, don't overcook it. If things are dried out and not juicy, and that's when they're not worth eating. I mean, don't be afraid to cook things to a medium rare, whether it's fish, whether it's a pork chop, whether it's a chicken breast or a steak, obviously. Things should be cooked to a nice temperature. Not everything has to be killed and left in the oven for an hour and a half. You want things juicy.
So we got about 12 minutes left, Josh. I want to give a few folks the opportunity to get on with their audio and ask you a question directly, because I see some there's been great ones the whole event, but I see some fun ones here.
I love it.
Is it okay if we pop some on? Okay, so everyone on the line, I'm seeing your questions come in. I'm going to call out your name. You're going to get a little notification on your screen when our producer, it gives you the option to turn on your audio. Click to turn it on, and then go ahead and ask your question, and just let's all pretend you're like calling into a radio show here. It's that sort of thing. So,
how about right before you do that, I'm gonna plate this up, and then we're done. Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Tiki, my fish is done. Is your fish done?
I'm gonna pull it. Yes, it is. Hold on one second. I gotta get
I wish you guys could smell this at least. I mean, it's magnificent. I'm going to get you the best shot I can. I'm going to get you the overhead shot, which is over there. I'm going to try and hold this thing up. But this
looks awesome.
It's too easy. I mean, do you see
Gorgeous.
that?
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. You see the overtop? It smells great. The colors are beautiful. It's all sizzling. The juices all came together really, really nicely, and that's what it's about. Okay? All those look at that fillet. I got a beautiful fillet there. I'm going to garnish the plate with that lemon. And then you take all that good stuff, all that zucchini, and all those vegetables, go around the outside. They're cooked really nice and tender. And by the way, the same goes for your vegetables. Don't kill your vegetables. If zucchini is green before you cook it, it should be green after you cook it, not brown.
Hey Josh, just Alina was asking, could you just remind us what to do with the potatoes when they come off the heat?
Yep. So the potatoes came off the heat when they were nice and fork tender. You don't want to cook them too much. You want to just cook them to where they're soft to the fork. Okay? We drained them and we drained them in a colander. Then we put them back in that same pot, and we just whipped in some olive oil, some salt and pepper, and some fresh herbs, whatever you got. Okay, last but not least, everybody see those love juices right there? Watch this. You see that? That's all the juice from the pan. That's all the olive oil, the white wine, and the lemon juice that I'm pouring right over the fish. Okay? I'm trying, Lord, pick up that. I want to get a good shot of that. Right, I like this camera better. Bring this up. Watch this. Look at that. Come on. You see that?
Awesome.
Does that look good?
Delicious.
And there are the potatoes. You eat these things together. This is one of those things that tastes incredible. And it's also, you feel good eating it. You know, I cooked a big fat steak the other night, and it was a Kobe, it was like an American Wagyu ribeye. It was so fatty and it was so delicious. But at the same time, I went to bed and I just felt nauseous. I'm not going to lie. This is the kind of thing that you eat, and you just feel good after you eat it because it's light, healthy, and delicious. It keeps you light on your feet so you can dance a little bit.
Both sound great.
Question.
Tiki, how you doing over there? You don't have to show it unless I assume it looks as good as Josh's.
Well, Tiki's got to show it. If we were on the football field, I'd have to do my thing.
Let's see it, Tiki.
Looks great.
Looking good. I use squash, not zucchini.
That's good. I like the colorful plate too, Tiki. Nice job.
All right, let's
last thing, by the way, those green lemons, when you caramelize, look, the juice, I'm not even squeezing this thing, and there's so much juice coming out of this thing. It just brings out the natural sweetness, which is a really nice touch.
That's great.
If you're barbecuing, put them on the grill too. Okay. All right, hit me.
All right, couple questions here. Andrea Pagnanelli, you've got a question for Josh. Go ahead, Andrea.
Hey, Josh, Andrea here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So question for you. Who has been your biggest mentor or, the chef in your life that has influenced your career the most?
A good question. I would say hands down David Burke. David Burke really taught me not just how to cook, but he taught me how to have fun with food and not take it too seriously. And he also taught me how to take care of customers. And I think that was a really valuable lesson because there are a lot of great chefs out there. But I think one thing that's one of my strengths is I know how to take care of customers in the dining room. I mean, the food's always got to be good, but by touching tables and making people feel welcome. And he always told me let's say my mom was sitting at a table in the dining room, if you go out and say hello to your mom, you better make sure you say hello to the table next to your mom, to the left and to the right, because or else they feel like, hey, how come the chef said hello to them? So I might be enhancing somebody's experience, but at the same time taking away from somebody else. So he taught me how to have fun with food, not take it too seriously, and really enjoy it and make sure guests enjoy your company as well.
So a question, thank you, Andrea. We've got a question from Joseph Kim. Joseph, go ahead when you're ready.
So in your family, who's the better cook, you or your wife? And the second one is when you're in the doghouse, what do you cook for your wife to get out of the doghouse?
Well, we all know the answer to the first question because Lori's sitting right behind the computer, so that would obviously be my wife. But my wife, she loves anything grilled. What do you say? My daughter screamed in the other room that she's the best cook. I think anything grilled, healthy. She loves good proteins. Anything off the grill. She likes a nice crispy skin on her fish. Not too much salt, not too much butter.
All right, thank you, Joseph. It sounds like, hey, let's check on Michelle Height. She's cooking tilapia. I think I got a question. Go ahead, Michelle.
Just a really simple question. I'm cooking tilapia and it doesn't seem to be browning up as nicely as yours. So
it's not going to brown up because I don't think you have a skin on it, do you?
I don't, no.
No, so the tilapia, was it fresh or frozen?
Fresh.
Okay, the tilapia is not going to brown that much in general. It just doesn't have a skin on it, but I'm sure it's cooked and I'm sure it's delicious.
The fork kind of melted it when I stuck it in. So I think that means it's probably done.
Yep, we use tilapia a lot. Tilapia is a great fish. Just you don't normally find a skin on it, so it's fine.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Russell Harris, you've got a question.
Russell Harris, is that you?
My name's Connie. I actually work for Russell Harris, but I do have a quick question. If I'm lazy and I want to do real quick cleanup, can I line that sheet pan with foil?
100%.
Okay. It's not going to make a difference in how it cooks or anything.
No, I mean, I don't like to do it because I like everything. It's an easier cleanup. It's not going to be that messy in the first place, but if you want to line it with foil, you most certainly can.
All right. Thank you.
Got some good questions, Jared. Got some guests over here.
Yeah, people, Josh, the feedback on this is tremendous. I'm just going to read this one. This isn't a question, but I found it interesting. So Marielle is saying, Next time, I'd be delighted to show you all how to make Belgian chocolate bonbons.
I'm in. Tiki, you in?
Bonbons.
I am in. That one sounds hard, though.
Just saying bonbons brings a smile to my face.
I know, you're right.
Oh, we got a question from our friend Rory O'Hara. Go ahead, Rory.
Rory.
Hey, Josh, when you cook fish in the oven, do you typically broil?
Yes. I mean, you could also bake it. You know, we do something at the restaurant called a slow cooked salmon. If you cook salmon at about 250 degrees, nice and slow, it comes out beautifully and tender. Like I know my wife always likes something a little crispy. I like to broil it. The heat from above, I just like a little char on it. But you could bake it, you could broil it, you could do it any way you want.
Thank you, Rory. Rory, I hope you are better at cooking than you are at fantasy football. On to the next. Let's go with
Rory, to answer your question, if there is skin on it, I would definitely broil it. And there's also one thing I want to add. Just in general, in terms of restaurant cooking, I say this a lot. The main difference is when you go out to restaurants, why you might think the food is better. There's 3 tricks that we do. One is the amount of salt and pepper that we use. I think sometimes when people cook at home, they don't season aggressively enough. Food shouldn't be salty. Okay, it shouldn't be salty. But I think in restaurants we use kosher salt, which is really important. It's a nice coarse salt and fresh black pepper, and just seasoning foods go a long way. We also cook with very high temperatures. If you're grilling a steak outside, make sure that grill is smoking hot. Make sure your broiler's hot. Make sure your saute pan's hot. Maybe we'll do this again, and I'll show you guys how to make a killer shrimp scampi or a sauteed shrimp dish. You need to have things hot to get that caramelization and that char and that texture on whether it's a burger, a shrimp, or a steak. And the other thing I always say is the amount of butter. Sometimes you go out to dinner, and the whole time you're going to be like, this is so incredible, this is so rich, this is so delicious. And the truth is you're eating a lot of butter. And I happen to feel that while that is delicious, you might go home and feel it and maybe not even sleep that well. You know, you could eat a risotto at an Italian restaurant and say this is incredible, but meanwhile that night you might not feeling too well because you ate a half a cup of butter. So the butter is the one thing I don't cook a lot about with, but temperatures, high temperatures, salt and pepper and butter. My dad was always a great chef. I would come home to his apartment in New York City and the whole place was smoking because he's cooking with such high temperatures, and he always had a couple of these so he wouldn't realize it. I'm like, can you just open up a window, Dad? Just open a window, buddy.
Okay, let's do one more question. I like this one from Alina Ritter. Go ahead, Alina. I hope I'm getting your first name right.
Yes, you got it right. Josh, what is your favorite thing to make?
One of the toughest questions you can ask a chef. That's like asking me what my last meal is before I go to the electric chair. Because I'll tell you, you want to know what my last meal is? Dumplings, pizza, ribeye steak, chicken parm, hero. I can go on and on. So, you know, one of my favorite things to cook, look, I love a great steak off the grill. I love a whole grilled fish. I tend to keep things pretty simple. But look, like a great chicken parm, a great chicken piccata, a shrimp scampi. It's often what I'm in the mood for. And one of the things about today and the corona and just having fun is whatever you have in the house, guys. I mean, seriously, open up your refrigerator, pull out a protein, pull out whatever you have. If you live outside, have a little herb garden. Have some pots of herbs. Have lemon. I always say lemons and limes and oranges provide a ton of flavor and not a lot of fat. And again, I got no problem eating rich, but I think we all try and watch our weight and try and be healthy. Lemons and limes and oranges are a ton of flavor, a lot of acid. Jalapeno peppers and red onions and stuff like that, also a lot of flavor. So I get that question a lot. I mean, look, I could make a killer spaghetti and meatballs and be so happy. But really what you're in the mood for. I think certain seasons call for different foods, different weathers call for different foods, and really what you're in the mood for.
Josh, I'm going to read one more. This isn't a question, but I think it's certainly worthy of a shout out here from our friend Sam Kaplan. Just asked for a shout out. His mom's a healthcare hero, Dr. Alice. So let's clap it up for Dr. Alice.
Hey, frontline workers, man. To Dr. Alice, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, keep protecting the rest of us. There's no question about it.
So look, everyone, Josh, thank you so much for doing this tonight. You know, everybody, for those of you that don't know what kind of guy Josh is, Josh's amazing restaurants experienced some vandalism in New York last night. And we shot him a text today and asked him if he wanted to do this, if he wanted to carry on, because it's a very challenging situation on top of an already challenging situation. And Josh responded by text within moments, like, let's go, you know? And it really hit home with our team, Josh, that you were willing to provide your time even prior to that. And now we just want to say thank you from the Thuzio team, from our membership community. I can tell you that we will be out dining at Burger and Barrel and Laura Fish Bar and eating all your great food as soon as we all can. We're forever supporters of you and your business. So thank you very much for doing this.
Listen, I appreciate it, and I think Tiki knows as well. The show must go on, and I just felt like a lot of people were looking forward to this today. And I don't know if you can see it. I'm getting a little emotional as you said that, and you made me cry a little bit. But this is an unfortunate time. I mean, the corona was one thing, but now compounded with everything else we going on in the world, it's heavy. So if we can provide a little bit of fun and have some drinks together and make some great snapper and have some laughs for Tiki and your crowd who's always supported me at my restaurants. And please make sure when this is all over, and this will be all over, that when you do come to my restaurant, you make the reservation through me or through Jared or through Tiki, because I would do my damnedest to be there. I would do my damnedest to bring you a drink or send out an extra dessert or just hang out with you guys for a little while, because just like having you in my kitchen now, the same thing when you're in my restaurant. I mean that very sincerely. You guys have always supported me, and I'll do the same.
Cheers to that, Josh.
Yeah, Tiki, anything at closing here from you?
Just much love, respect for you, Josh, obviously. And thanks for all the Thuzio members who joined us. And I hope you are enjoying a fantastic meal in a couple of minutes when we jump off of here. This is a great idea, Jared, to get this done this way. I don't know how we would have pulled this off if we were live. We couldn't have pulled this off if we were live. You need your own kitchen to do this. So, Josh, I know that you were pre-thinking about doing these type of in-home cooking sessions. I would champion it. If you put it out there, I will support it every single way.
Next time we're gonna do the backyard barbecue. We're gonna grill some steaks. We'll do some food dishes.
That's right.
Your clients tell us what you want to see. Request some recipes, and we'll do it all over. Because this is fun for me, guys, too, to have you in my kitchen. I got no place else to go.
Yeah.
And Amanda's sticking her finger in the potatoes. I don't know if you see
Cheers to that. Good job, Amanda.
She's already eating potatoes, but guys, and if there's one other thing I could share with you, and especially if you have kids, and Amanda's a perfect example, get your kids involved. Don't tell them when it's time for dinner. Okay? I don't need to tell you how to raise your kids, and that's not my point. But don't say, hey, kids, dinner's ready. Say, hey, kids, we're getting ready for dinner. Somebody should be setting the table, and get them involved in cooking, because I think the more you get them involved, the more they learn about good food and what it means to eat good food. And, you know, one of my buddies told me early on, if you feed your kids chicken fingers and hot dogs all the time, that's all they're going to eat. You know, Amanda's been eating oysters on the half shell since she's 6 years old, and octopus and all that kind of stuff. And that might be a little aggressive for some people, but just teach them how to make a chicken parm and just get them involved and let them set the table. When dinner's over, everybody, you know, the one question I get a lot on Instagram these days, everybody keeps asking me, because we're cooking every night over here. Everybody keeps asking me, who's doing the pots and pans? Who's doing the dishes? And the truth is, it's everybody. Everybody helps them. Everybody helps out after dinner. And it's really important.
That's a great message. Totally agree with you on the kids. Get them involved. Thank you. Thank you, Josh. And, you know, to all our Thuzio members here, we're going to do our next virtual event. Josh, welcome to come by. Tiki's going to be interviewing his brother, Rondé, who might have the Bucks have some news as of recently. So we thought it'd be fun. That's Tuesday, June 23rd will be our next event. So to all of our members, we hope to see you all back for that. And Josh, we can't wait to bring everybody back out to your restaurants when we all get on the other side of this. So
I love it. I appreciate it, guys.
Lori, Amanda, great to meet you. Tiki, Tracy, I don't know how you got Tracy stayed off camera the whole time. That blows my mind.
Yeah, she's saying, I need to cook dinner for the kids.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Are the Bucks going to the playoffs this year or what? Bucks hitting the playoffs?
Yes. Better. With all that talent, they better.
You think so? Hey, stay healthy, everybody. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay together. That's all we can do, all right?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night. Bye-bye.